Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, you know, anytime you're high school player of the year in your area and you're national junior college player of the year, you got a little something. So, you know, it's going to be kind of fun to watch competition develop, and competition makes everybody better.
Do you see that as a race here to the end, or is it pretty well
no,
set?
I think the games determine, you know, I mean, of course, one thing to be good in practice, but the guys that play in the game, that get better in the game, are the ones that end up usually winning the job.
And then at running back, that seems like a really deep position.
Yeah.
A lot of competition there.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with all those guys. The two freshmen look really good. Darius Durrell and Gresham, and KP, we already kind of know that he's the real deal. And Prescott, like I've always said, is maybe the best blocker I've ever had at the position. So that's four pretty good players.
And then on the offensive line, I saw Bo. I can't pronounce his last name, but how do you like him?
He's good. Athletically, he's very, very good. But you know, he's got a lot to learn still. But the more reps he gets, the more practice he gets, the better he gets, because he's very athletic.
Chris Hips and Jeremiah Gaines, two guys with size on the outside receiver. How important is it to have a guy with that type of size out there on the outside?
Well, certainly it's good if he can make plays, and I think those guys can make plays. So, you know, it gives you a little advantage, plus especially in the plus area.
Is it hard to come to the decision to bring in Chris, considering he hasn't played football in 4 years? Being a lacrosse player, was the evaluation difficult?
No, we remembered him from high school, and he's a walk-on. So, you know, anytime we can get anybody that has that kind of athletic ability that can walk on and come here, as expensive as the school is, it's always worth having that guy.
Do you see him outside, or is he
both?
inside?
I see him both inside.
And
I see him both like Bradley Haynes, inside and outside.
the two transfer linebackers, Nwosu and Tuiasosopo, both strong guys, inside guys at their respective schools, and obviously they have experience having played at Rice and junior college. Are there major differences when you look at them that we don't see yet?
Well, I'm going off their film. They haven't done anything for us yet, but going off their film, I thought Cameron was the best player on Rice's defense. Played very well against us. I think he had 21 tackles against Texas a couple years ago before we played Rice. I remember looking at that film. And then Caleb is a real tough, physical guy that you like to have being on special teams. And if he gets on the field on defense, then they give a chance to make a little name for himself. So that's what we're hoping he does.
You got some guys who played for you here who are now out here as, I guess, volunteer assistants or graduate assistants. Jeremy Gray, Ryan Walker, Kyle Padron, and Randall Joyner. You always talk about freshmen as having their heads swimming a little bit. Are they sort of as
well?
The
GAs can deal with our players. The other guys are just observing. They're out here to encourage and so on and so forth. But they really can't do anything for us on the field. But they're here to learn how to be a coach. They want to be coaches when they move on, and so they're watching and observing.
Is that something where you reached out to them, or did they come to you and say, "Hey, I want to help
pretty much all of them reach out to me. They always call, and I got a list going. So we take as many GAs as we can, and then try to help as many of the kids we can too.
Who's going to be your kicker?
Well, we're going to find that out, but I think it'll be a combination of both. Rademacher and Kuntz, kind of both those guys have the ability to do it. So we're hoping that the freshman is the punter, and Rademacher's going to start off as a kicker, but Kuntz has a real good leg too, kicking. So
we good? J.R. Richardson's status?
I can't really comment on it, but he's not out here.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.